This is Freehold.
Oh, there it is. Sorry, it didn't say live. Go ahead.
Hey, guys, this is the scene for the Changeling venue, and we're at Valerius's Freehold, where he is hanging out and doing all sorts of classy business. And he is in the front of his house, and what looks to be the beginnings of a garden that he's kind of, tending to. And you can see one of his servants, a servant of his, is standing beside him, and just kind of there with like a tray of lemonade, some cookies, and right next to the tray of lemonade and cookies, there's some weed. It's great. As Valerius is kind of tending to his garden. Such a beautiful day today. YouTube.
Make my way up the walk. Assuming I've gotten directions previously.
Yeah.
Make my way up the walk, and if it says I'm expected, just go ahead and go through the gate. Although I won't be, knocking. I will be knocking before I go inside anywhere.
Yeah. And with that,
Yeah.
the servant looks at him. He's like, "Were you expecting company?" And Valerius kind of smiles and says, "I guess I am now." Like, as he kind of gets up, dusts off his, his gardening garbs, and he looks. He says, "Hey, boy, I wasn't expecting you today."
Oh, I'm sorry. I just wasn't sure when was a good time, so I came by.
Oh, definitely. As Valerius kind of starts rolling a joint, a glass of lemonade, lights it. "Oh, you want some?"
I'm not likely to say no to that.
As Valerius smiles and says, "Okay, come on. As he leads you into the house, it's small, but it's really, really cozy. There's like lots of poofy chairs and just lots of like scholarly things around, like a few sets of bookcases, some tapestries, and little mementos from Valerius from his time, his ascending into his baronhood, and a few trophies here from tactics and whatnot. It is a glorified man cave. As
That's
he
okay.
kind of takes a seat on a poofy couch and says, "Boy, take a seat."
Choose another seat and sit down.
And
Hopefully one that looks also comfortable.
they're all comfortable. As he kind of points and says, "That's Bartholomew. He's the manservant.
Oh,
This is Eve."
yeah, wave to him. Hi, how are you?
He kind of bows and kind of looks at Valerius at his really informal, response, and kind of, "You want some lemonade?"
Sure. It's an interesting walk here. I could use some lemonade.
Pours you a glass of lemonade and politely excuses himself. So he says, "So, your queen is very interesting."
Nothing like a queen you ever imagined, eh?
Hey, if I knew that it was going to be that kind of party. He kind of starts laughing.
Yeah, honestly, I've only met her one other time, but yeah. I mean, honestly, she's. If you haven't figured it out by now, Selkies are kind of a pretty informal bunch. Um, we we're mostly a bunch of surfers and fishermen, so it's just what we do. There are a
So,
few exceptions, but that's most of what we do.
so, Duke Guile. So, as he takes another long drag, is of House Elenet.
Another one?
Yes.
What is with these people? I mean, Riss seemed a little bit nicer than like the other one did, but even so, he still like was trying to I don't think he was trying to offend me, but he kind of did in a way.
I
Is that
mean,
what they do? They just offend people? I mean, what?
I don't think he was necessarily, well, hell, I don't know. I guess you
I
need,
I don't think he meant to. I really don't. I mean, he just met me. Why would he do that? But
for formality's sake, we'll say that all she has their own interesting,
again,
quirks.
I've caught that. But I've noticed that I seem to be okay with the Scathach ones, and well, apparently Fiona seems to be okay too.
Well, I guess you should know. Scathach, such as they are not exactly nobility, but they are. Kind of like nobility light, if you want to use a proper term for it. As Valerius
Okay.
to a small drag. I mean, no disrespect. They definitely have their place, but it goes on to the more, like I was trying, the political nature of what they are and how they are.
Well, aren't they the only house that stayed here?
If you really get into the politics of it, I'm sure you'll hear a different story depending on who you talk to and how long you talk to them. But yes, as the story goes, that will be the truth.
So that would be an easy way to differentiate them from the others, I would think.
Yes and no. As Valerius kind of looks at you and smiles. Well, um,
Is it like saying that? Is that like saying I'm not, that I'm not a mermaid? Whenever a lot of people seem to think I am, just because I happen to be water connected.
I guess that would be a fair assumption, but eh.
I'm just saying because there's one person in particular who kept calling me mermaid, even though I had explained that I am not. I don't have a fishtail.
Well, he could have just been a squire, not really important, or a bridge. I have no idea. You kind of have
Oh
to.
no, 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 no! I don't mean that. It was actually Veronica Coyle who was doing that for a while.
Oh, well, she's a very.
She seems to have come around now. I wasn't offended. It was just really strange. Like after having been explained to you, then you just don't quite get it.
This is true. So Valerius goes into his. I'll be right back, Eve. Don't go anywhere. As he goes upstairs and he's kind of rummaging through. My God, why did they give me so many clothes? I could wear all of them. As he comes back with his like, why is this here? Oh, right, I got that. As he comes down and he calls for Bartholomew, and he comes with like a little box. He starts putting things in it. Things he thinks is appropriate. I don't know. He's not a woman. So he makes his way back downstairs and he comes with a box and he says, "Well, usually when you get stations, a lot of people get a lot of clothes, and depending on who it comes from or how much they give you, they usually just don't give you one article of clothing. They give you a whole bunch, usually for different genders, assuming that if you want to, show off, possibly give something, case by case basis. But as he hands you the box, I think this will be appropriate for the meeting that you're going to.
Okay. I take it it's a very formal sort of thing. This would be then. I mean, obviously, in
It's,
theory, it should be,
it's
but
extremely formal, actually.
okay. Yeah, this makes me more nervous.
It's not to make you nervous, it's to keep you on your toes. As in, you don't get blindsided by anything. Who's escorting you?
I don't have a boyfriend, if that's what you mean.
Not what I meant. As Valerius kind of smiles and takes another breath. It's one of those things where women, not to say that you're not important and empowered or anything like that, as he kind of rolls his eyes, like, It's more so that you have to keep up appearances.
Tradition. It's
Tradition.
tradition.
You have to look like a delicate flower, if you will. And so nobody will get all up, you know, in your grill, as it were. Saying that, oh, this new mermaid came here and she, came in here with a t-shirt and, jeans. Like, who is she? Oh, Sophie.
Honestly, I know a mermaid, and she probably wouldn't wear that.
Well, whatever. But I mean, you know how Aluned,
Probably be more like a bikini. Probably more like a bikini if it was a mermaid. But anyway,
I'm sure you would do more than coming with, with a clam bra and, saying like, here I am. But
I no, I promise. I was planning to wear something a little more formal, but maybe not quite as open the box at this point,
mhm.
and just kind of look through it a little bit.
It's like the traditional stuff. It's not exactly pretty. It's
So,
pretty. It's
is it
something
like kind of like medieval or Victorian kind of stuff? Victorian,
extreme,
more likely.
extremely.
Okay. Oh, that's cool. It's like playing dress up with this stuff.
Totally.
Okay, I'm in. As long as I can make it fit me, and I think I can. If not, I'll get somebody who can fix it.
I'm pretty sure you could get a bargain to do it for free. I mean, you're new. They really don't know your face, and they just might want to help you just cause.
Wow. Okay. Just so that they can say that they had their hands on the work that I was wearing because it's a statement. I mean, what?
I mean, I could put in a word from you. I'm a Fiona, Aaron. I could get somebody to, make it, fit you a little bit better. I mean, I kind of guessed when I got it, so
That's nice of you if you actually got this stuff for me. I appreciate it.
I'll do what I can.
I'm just gonna tell you something that may surprise you, and I probably shouldn't tell you, but I think I can trust you to not like blurt it out in front of Duke Guile or something.
I don't like the guy. That's a secret between you and me.
You don't like him?
No,
I don't actually plan to like him. I just need to get information from him.
fair enough. I mean, I'm not.
But that's not what I was gonna say though. This whole representative of the Selkie Queen thing sounds all fancy, and yeah, it's gonna look fantastic to all of the she, aside from apparently you, because I'm about to tell you that it doesn't actually mean a whole heck of a lot.
Mhm.
It just means that I happen to be the convenient person who's willing to do it.
Fair enough.
That said, I'm not gonna make a fool of myself if I can avoid it.
This is true. So, um, I'll go as your escort if you don't mind. This is not. I'm
No, that is
not,
absolutely fine.
not macking on you. Not trying to get in your pants. It'll just be me taking you to and fro. So, me taking you then to a destination of your choosing.
I wasn't assuming any such thing, so it's all good.
I
You
don't know
seem to
how
be very,
get these like notions that all Fiona like to fuck, which is true, but we do have some type of restraint. So
Selkies are all about that too. But you know what? We also have some restraint. So we'll just leave it at that until the day we decide we want to do that, and then that's another subject.
yes, totally. As Valerius gives you kind of a oh, okay. kind of
And no, I'm not implying anything.
he's totally taking it that way, but he kinda just takes it just lets it okay, whatever. I wasn't even trying there.
Neither was I. I'm just saying, if it goes a different way, then that's something else.
right.
Right.
So, as a point of note, you should know who the people in your sea court are. So if you need to go back and make a trip back to the Sea Queen,
The
you
Sea
should,
Queen. I
uh,
don't have any The Selkie Queen, I do.
the Selkie Queen, sorry, as Valerius, I'm still getting used to it.
It's okay.
Selkie Queen, find out who's in her court. If it's just her,
It is pretty much just her.
all right, probably don't mention the fact that she's laid back.
Oh, absolutely not.
Um,
I don't intend to do that at all. I may bumble over everything I do, but I don't intend to give away her secrets.
Okay. The way, as a person who likes talking to people, like me, you want to say things without blatantly giving away too much information yourself, and never take anything personally. Ever.
I've been to your court once, and they're just, I don't know. It's a totally different thing. I mean, we tend to be pretty straightforward.
The thing is, you can be straightforward, but you have to also be amiable. As in, if you would never know that there are people in the city of Apples that I actually have problems with, that I don't care for. You know of one. Now, I would never ever tell that to him to his face because of his rank and his station. That's just disrespectful. But
In the same way that you wouldn't have ever called the Selkie Queen's court
the
anything other than interesting.
exactly, even if I was more inclined to say something else, you always
Like,
put your best foot forward.
like a hippie drug den?
You would not say that.
I would no, and I have no intention of it, but that is the impression that she gives off. I'm not blind.
Exactly. So, I would say that her dwellings are very modest because she is a new arrival.
It is because she's a new arrival. That's actually why it is that way.
Yeah. So,
In this case, that's true.
so just call it modest.
Modest. Right. Well, I hope I don't have to describe her dwellings.
Probably.
Nor do I plan to give away her location unless he makes it very clear that he knows exactly where they are.
It also might be a good idea to small talk. I know that you're not a fan of it, but you're gonna have to do a lot of that.
Start out with that, I think.
Talk about the day, the weather,
The lovely surroundings.
breakfast.
Well, look, this room is lovely. Well, how did you get this effect over here?
Very much. Be very amiable, respectful. Also, don't let him bully you, because as of right now, you are a representative of your court, and you have a statement and a point to make.
From what I'm understanding, she just wants me to basically find out what their purpose is in fighting and how that might affect her people. That seems to be basically what it is. And if that information is good enough, she might be willing to try to help. At least that's my understanding. She didn't say that, but I don't picture her being willing to jump in like head first, sending in troops or anything. But there are other things that she might be able to help with.
Fair enough.
This is just my impression. I certainly can't speak for her.
Oh, I know, obviously, but that would be the normal gist of it.
A man with the name of Duke Guile makes me kind of question everything he says anyway.
Well, he's attractive for a she.
You mean he's beyond crazy attractive then? Because all she are attractive.
As Valeris kind of looks at that statement and kind of says, no comment, as he continues to say, well, but Dugal is, yes, he is very much attractive.
Okay. Well, that doesn't surprise me too much anyway. That's kind of how it goes. Ever since I met Alicia, you know, I kind of have met a whole bunch of she, and you all seem to be very, very attractive. And pointed-eared.
Yes, that's also a thing. What are you bringing as a gift?
Well, I wasn't aware that was a necessity, so...
You should probably bring a gift.
Something like a bottle of wine?
a little bit more formal. That's a little informal. Um, Probably something from the sea court. Something that is
The self-geek court, because I don't have contact. I know one person in the sea court. One.
says the fuck. You guys all live under the sea. I don't whatever. But like, but
Actually, my house is above the sea. I live near the ocean, not in the ocean, although that's where my. Anyway.
maybe it's just getting to me, but whatever. Yeah, it's above the water. Cool.
So,
But
look,
yes,
think of it this way: seals spend as much time sunning on the beach as they do swimming, right?
right. And that way I'll remember it.
Think of it that way.
Okay. So with the Selkie court, something that they would consider a gift that's not too offensive. So don't bring them weed.
That's not something they grow themselves. I'm sure we could come up with some sea kelp if you'd like. I'm not
Maybe
sure that would be terribly appropriate. I mean, unless I had a particular use for it in mind.
maybe some type of flower or something that's pretty.
Um, a gift of fresh fish.
Something that is less, commoner-ish.
What don't you eat? He's a she, does he not eat?
He does eat. She do eat. Do not, misunderstand. But that's commoner-ish.
I get you. I'm just trying to think what would make sense. Because I mean, I'll come. I can talk to Marella and see what she's willing to do. Um, I honestly had no idea about this whole gift thing,
Yes.
so I don't know what would be appropriate, honestly.
What else?
Something pretty would work.
Something that you would know. Dougal is the second in command to the Queen. Queen.
Yes, right.
He
Who
is.
I've never seen.
I have seen her once. She is very queen. That's a good way to put it. Very regal.
Very well. I'm just as glad then that Marella didn't want me to meet with her, or that
Fiona.
she was satisfied, with Duke Guile as compared to Queen Mab.
Right.
I'm
So
trying to
yeah,
think. So whatever the gift is doesn't necessarily have to be expensive. It just has to be well thought out.
a well thought out gift that doesn't seem commoner-ish. So no,
Commoner-ish. That's a word now.
like don't give him like I don't know, don't give him like a bag of weed and like a devil dog. Say like this is from the sea.
Here, have a hot dog. I bought it I bought it down at the wharf.
Party dude, like don't. Like, yeah. That's basically it. Make sure you smile.
Oh man.
Smile often. Don't share any secrets. As he kind of I'm mentioning the thing, when you went all Wizard of Oz on the Heen, secrets.
Wizard of Oz.
The whirlwind and the wind and things.
Oh, you're telling me as in don't tell him about Skycraft? Or or not, I mean, because when you think that the fact that I could do things, I'm saying the fact that the things I know I've been using to help his side, so that should
Yes,
make him like me.
it should. Only because, people usually want things that are nice and pretty.
Right. Well, I'm not surprised that he would want to learn. I would say I'm not entirely inclined to teach him.
This is true. Just
I would
whenever
rather.
things that might come up.
Right. Well, that story is probably hard to hide, so if it comes up, then it comes up, and
So what would you say?
About what? Depends on how he brings it up. If he just brings it up as a story that he's trying to confirm, I would confirm it. Yes, I did do that.
If he was to say something like, we would be interested in a trade of knowledge or something like that, Marty.
I would say something along the lines of perhaps in the future that's something that we might consider.
Good, okay. All right. So, if you always keep yourself respectful but firm, you should be fine.
It's the same thing that I would say to just about anybody.
Respectful but firm.
Well, that subject, it's so odd because amongst you land changelings, I suppose is the best way to put it. It's apparently a lot rarer than I had realized, and I have something worth something here.
I mean, you always have something worth something. You have your knowledge, the
Or,
things that you've encountered, the sea. I do want to go swimming one day and actually see what the dream looks like under the water. Should be fascinating.
well, I can, there are some interesting monsters down there. But don't trust everything you see. Just because it's ugly doesn't mean that it hates you. Although the big ugly things do hate you. Ask Nathan.
Fascinating. As he looks, I was like,
The Marucha are, yeah, those are evil. Those are some evil bitches.
what's the matter?
They're the bad version of the bad version of the merfolk.
Hmm.
There's merfolk and then there's these guys and they don't look pleasant at all and they're not. I've been chased by one. It's just lucky I got away.
Jeez.
I'm sorry, I'm looking out of game. I'm trying to grab the book so I can describe better.
As Valerius pulls out a book, and he's just like, does it look like that? Because he brought a book. I brought this book at Goblin Town.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure how accurate this stuff is, but
What was the description of what you're thinking of?
I mean, the narco lady that sold it to me called it a fishy book.
Where should I find this stupid pivot? Okay, the merfolk basically look like the good ones or whatever. They basically look like mermaids. Except their faces are a little more fishy. Whereas the Marucha, well, let's just say I describe this. It's pretty much like long, kind of like long octopus tentacles. Like one tentacle, and they look like, I don't know. They just look like someone threw up all over them.
Oh, okay. As Valerius starts writing in the book, like, so that's what that is. Okay.
So that picture in there would have looked like that.
Yeah. Looks
Okay.
for the way you're describing it, that's what that is.
Yeah, the merfolk are they're decent folk. They can be kind of, I don't know. I've only ever talked to a few, and only one is willing to speak to me now. But
Hmm.
they're very inclusive. They tend to stick amongst themselves for good reason, really. Think about how badly the above people have treated them.
This is true. Maybe it would be a good idea if we sent an embassy. It's something to consider.
You could consider it. That's another subject. I'm not sure how. I mean, I suppose it wouldn't hurt as long as you don't run into the Marucha first.
On a second note, as Valerius looks kind of, there's an idea. Would you be totally opposed if I spent some time with your queen? As in nothing inappropriate, of course, but more so.
That's her business. If she wants inappropriate, that is up to her and not my business.
No. In an official capacity, if Dugal were to send someone, you could maybe strongly insist that since I've already spoken with the queen and of my studies,
I see. You want to be considered the representative for the other side.
Yeah. She seems to like me.
I think she does too, at least as much as she can. She doesn't fully trust anybody that's really not that proven themselves, and pretty much I've proven myself just by being what I am. If
Well,
you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I mean, this would be a beautiful chance of communication and cultural exchange. That's it.
Honestly, it's probably better someone familiar to her than someone not familiar to her. So it's probably a good idea. I could certainly mention that if that comes up.
That's all I ask. So, whatever Bart's cooking smells wonderful. You want to stay for dinner?
Sure. I did want to say one thing though before, and you don't even have to respond or anything.
What's up?
But I just wanted to like acknowledge what you were saying yesterday. Um, I'm really sorry for the loss of your family.
Valeris looks kind of somber. Well,
I just feel like I can't. I just need to acknowledge it, and that's I do. It's awful.
it is not. But I'm not closed off to the idea of love. So maybe one day. I may
Maybe.
start another family. As he smiles, he says, "Well, thank you for the sentiment." As as Bart comes out, he starts setting a table. So, as he pulls out the seat, we can start like etiquette and small talk and shit.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Why don't you tell me about your garden?
Um, yeah. Small talk. So I have this awesome idea that I want to make an LSD garden, right? So I think it would be cool for like a party favor if people could come in and if they wanted to, partake, they could just pick up the flower and like eat it and they'll have like a magical trip. It'll be awesome. Or I was
Wow.
also thinking that when I hold my housewarming, maybe little bubbles that floated around with like champagne and stuff that you could just kind of pick up the bubble and just drink it. It would be awesome and really nifty. Hmm.
That is impressive.
It is, isn't it? Hmm.
You might want to have some be some other things besides champagne, though, because some people aren't champagne people.
What would you recommend?
Depends on who you plan to invite. If commoners are going to be there, you might want to include some ordinary beer.
Yeah, as he looks like, yeah, it's gross. All right,
It's just an idea, just because you're trying to cater to everybody's taste, right?
right. I guess we can get like Sam Adams. I guess maybe. I don't know.
Well, if you don't want to, then don't. You can have it do maybe some little mixed drinks in the bubbles too, which
Yeah,
aren't quite. That might be more your taste.
it could be punch. Punch is nice. People like punch. As he kind of like,
Totally gonna spike my punch. Totally gonna do it.
no, 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 no. As he kind of smiles, he was just like, I'm pretty sure if Nathan or Morgan come, they're probably going to spike the punch, and it's going to be fantastic. But at least when we start the party, I at least like to people to be of the right state of mind.
Well, yeah, when we start, I mean, you don't let any drunk people in.
Right, because you people get drunk, and then it's just like, it's fuck off my property, and then titles and duels, and then shit just gets messy. But,
And then the Fillane start visiting us outside, and it turns into a big, a big cryos mess, and we just kind of walk away.
I see what you did there. Kind of starts laughing. Yeah. So, I suppose
Maybe you could just choose drinks of different colors to put in there, so you have different colored bubbles.
oh, bubbles. Fascinating. Hmm.
See? So you could do the champagne over here, then have like I don't know something pink here, and a blue one over here, and green ones, and just have rainbow colors.
I like it. I like it.
Everything with a different flavor. Green apple teenies or whatever you want to call them. I don't know.
Apple teas. Wow. I can start making flavors. Oh my god, it's like that magical book with the fucked up orphan, and somehow he gets magical powers and like woof, and then it's just like it has like weird, Jewish Holocaust jokes and stuff like. So apparently at the end of the book, like everybody's killing everybody because like they're pure bloods or whatever. Um, it's a totally awesome acid trip. I like the book. I read it when I was high, but it seemed
I
really
have.
good.
What
So
the heck book is that? I don't know any book by this description. Should I roll my intelligence or something here?
no, you said Harry something or other. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, the dude with the wand, right?
Do with the wand, like some phallic object. I don't know, whatever. But like, uh, okay,
The
okay.
one with the one with the wand and the
The wand, and he
yeah,
like bangs he like bangs his best
and the
friend.
three-headed dog. There was a three-headed dog.
He bangs like the best friend's, sister, and then like they're married and shit, and everybody's supposed to be cool with it. But whatever. And then
Yeah,
they,
it's
they
fucking.
had the smart girl, who was that was supposed to be the main character, but she wasn't because she was a girl, and she was just
She's
like,
one of she's one of three main characters.
no, it was just like whoever this chick is, the redhead. We just call her the redhead or the brown head, whatever. And
Yeah, Hermione. She's brown.
right, and half the shit that they get into, they would have died their first year. And what's up with people dying at school? I don't go to school and hope to die. Like, well, today somebody from classroom 5A mysteriously got killed by this, dark figure, and we don't know how to stop it. So,
So we're gonna have some of the kids solve it.
but you know what? For extra credit, the kids can solve it, right? So, like, that totally happened near the end of the book because they kind of figured out the problem before the adults did. Fucking extra credit, and nobody gets final exams. I mean, that's like a bullshit constellation prize. That's like no tuition for like the next 6 years. Because
You know, I've actually read this book, and your version is so weird compared to the real thing.
well, I was high, and it just seemed more interesting when I read it, whatever. But it's
Yeah. Well, that was small talk. Good job at giving me that demonstration.
small talk.
Maybe I shouldn't go on about Harry Potter when I'm high, though, but I get your point.
But Harry Potter is amazing. While you're high, you'll go on so many amazing adventures.
Oh, Harry Potter's awesome, but I don't know. I guess I read them when I was actually, young and wasn't drinking yet, or high yet.
And it turned into a very angsty, angry book filled with plot holes and miscommunications. But like I don't know, and like maybe the author's like making amendments and whatever. But and
Was it
apparently
just the first book, or was it like all of them?
I don't know. It was like I'm not too sure how long the high lasted, but it was a magical adventure.
Okay, did the wizard, the principal wizard dude, did he die?
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Fucker died.
Then you read through the whole series.
Shit. I don't know. Time is different, so I was just kind of reading and smoking and reading and smoking, then reading, smoking, and drinking. And
Please
then
tell me you ate somewhere in there because that would have taken days.
I think I ate at one point, possibly.
Probably pizza.
Maybe. It was kind of whatever. As he kind of seems just as interested as he was in it, he's like not interested in it anymore. So, yeah,
Pizza's the key word here.
pizza is the key word.
Seriously though, these are some awesome clothes.
I'm glad you like them.
I've never
But
actually.
remember when you saw Alicia at court? Kind of what she was wearing. That's
I remember what she was wearing.
that would be traditional. Something a person of, as a representative. It shows that you're embracing the new culture that you're in.
As compared to the people who hang ten.
as in the people that are very eccentric and have very naturalistic ways.
Wow, that is impressive.
See, I didn't get banned for
Yeah,
no reason.
I got no skill in this area. I hope. See, that's the thing. Okay, so I'm expected to take on yours slash his ways, but is he expected to take on mine?
This is the point of my role, because I would come and I would learn to become more eccentric and be more open to the exchange of new possibilities and ideas. You see, that's how bullshit
Interesting.
works. But I was really serious about that. But that's how the bullshit works. Thank you.
Uh, I just want to hang it over here where I can get high and nobody cares.
Well, you see, I had that mentality. I was getting high every day and like orgies every day, and then people got really upset talking about I was acting too hanged, and I had to act more proper and civil and shit. Now I have to cut back on the little naughty things that I do. I have to be prim and proper. I have to smile. I have to act like I like people. All these things. So,
You mean before your chrysalis you were like that?
no,
Or
this was like
after?
after my chrysalis because I kind of like joined House Fiona and like lost my mind a little bit. I had too much fun way too fast. So,
Oh.
too much fun way too fast. So, yeah.
I've kind of always been part of you know, the surfer crowd, if there is any such thing as a surfer crowd. In fact, there really is, but we're not all selkies. But I don't know, just tend to relax and go with the flow most of the time.
Bad ass.
The only time I've really made much of a stand is when I'm trying to, well, basically just when I choose to like, well, basically when I choose to fight on your guys' side, and then now then everyone's questioning, well, why is she doing this?
Right.
And I have my reasons for it. I'm not fighting for you. I'm fighting for them, for the people who can't fight. But it's like, I don't know. It's just weird. I'm still trying to figure all this out because, seriously, what were they talking about at that fight?
Your guess is as good as mine.
You don't think it might have had something to do with like an earlier incarnation or something that was like butchering their children in their beds or something?
Possibly. I could be none the wiser, but maybe.
Because I don't remember any of my earlier ones, so
I mean, it's been told to me that we have earlier incarnations. I know that much, but if any of us have done things, it's a mystery to me.
Hmm. Yeah. I don't know. It kind of bothers me in a way, just because okay, I feel like I'm doing this one thing, but what if I'm wrong and and they maybe what if they do have a good reason for this?
The thing about politics is just that you see that emotion you just gave? It's not wrong, but in the world of politics, it has less and less of a place.
Yeah, but I'm talking to you in private right now. I'm
Under-
not. That's not something I'd bring up in front of Guile.
no, 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 no. But it's just words of wisdom. That's all. As you,
You don't look that much older than me. You just have more experience in the court.
yeah, as he smiles. But the hour draws late, and it will be inappropriate for you to stay any longer.
Right. No, we can't have anybody assuming that
Exactly.
I'm part of an orgy.
Orgy, or that you're my new fling of the evening, or anything like that.
Fine then. Next time I'll just invite you to my house. Stand up and exit. No other word. Just exit.
As he calls behind you, you know he could have walked you to the door. I was going to walk you to the door. I wasn't just kicking you out like that. As he kind of waves.
Just keep walking.
Fair enough. asks Valerius kind of sends Bartholomew to close the door and says, "Gee, well, that was interesting." And I think that's where we'll end our scene. Thank you guys for watching Valerius and his shenanigans, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.